Jürgen Klopp announced the separation. Jürgen Klopp has admitted that Nat Phillips is likely to leave Liverpool before the end of the January window, but that depends on offers. The transfer window will close on the 31st of January, with clubs in England less than 5 days left to complete their work. This transfer window for Liverpool could go beyond bringing Cody Gakpo to Anfield for more than £44 million, but there could be more players on the way out. A loan deal has been approved for Jarell Quansah. The young defender has joined Bristol Rovers and more tentative moves may come. Even more interesting is the future of Phillips, who seems poised to leave, perhaps permanently, following the recall of Rhys Williams from Blackpool. Although Bournemouth, Southampton and Benfica tried to sign the 25-year-old over the summer, no club showed any interest at the time. When asked if Phillips, now pushed aside by a suitable chill, could be allowed to leave before the deadline, Klopp suggested it was likely. "It depends on the offers," he told reporters. Part of the problem came when the 21-year-old rejoined Ace team practice after his season-long loan was cut short, citing Williams' return. Klopp admitted, "We have to be prepared for almost anything. We don't know. January 31st is the last day, and we'll see," he said. Phillips is worth around £10 million in recent reports, which could be a bargain for some clubs looking for strength at the heart of the defence. Nat Phillips has been on the matchday squad 24 times this season, came out of the bench 3 times and started against Crystal Palace and Derby. But Williams is now poised to take his place as the 5th option, and Billy Commicio is also present after his tenure at Austria Wien. The departure of Nat Phillips seems to be a very positive business both in terms of his own career and in terms of Liverpool's transfer income. Although Phillips doesn't get regular minutes at Liverpool, he has the qualities to be a bench player for many mid-range teams. Therefore, it is the most logical option for him to continue his career in another team. Liverpool transfer hopes are reignited as Klopp backs up to battle 2 big clubs for the dominant World Cup star. Liverpool may return to chase Benfica midfielder Enzo Fernandez in the summer after missing his signing this month, according to a transfer expert. Fernandez had a brilliant World Cup, playing in all 7 of Argentina's games as they won the trophy for the first time since 1986. The central midfielder was an integral part of Lionel Scaloni's team and also won the Young Player of the Tournament award. Fernandez became heavily linked to his Premier League move after his excellent performance in Qatar. Liverpool were back to rush for him to resolve their midfield issues in January. Then Chelsea soon joined the race to sign him from Benfica. Blues chairman Todd Boehly had hoped to offer a deal worth around £74 million. However, Benfica remained determined to receive the full release clause. That's around £105 million. Chelsea's hopes of removing the talented midfielder collapsed on the 9th of January. Benfica boss Roger Schmidt said, "There is a club that wants our player. They know we don't want to sell the player. They try to get the player on their side and they know they can only get this player if they pay for the item. So it's very clear, what the club that wanted to buy Enzo did is disrespectful to all of us, Benfica, and I cannot accept what they did. Asserting that they can pay the item and then saying they want to negotiate is not what I understand about good relations between clubs that maybe want to argue about a player," he said. There are some rumors that Chelsea restarted talks with Benfica ahead of the transfer date. But now it looks like the World Cup winner will stay in Portugal until the summer. CBS Sports journalist Ben Jacobs gave an update on the situation. Surprisingly, Liverpool and Chelsea's hopes of signing Fernandez are not dead and buried. Jacobs predicts that the 2 Premier League giants will fight Real Madrid for him when the transfer window reopens this summer. If nothing dramatic happens in January, it will definitely be an open race for him in the summer, the reporter said. Chelsea, Liverpool and potentially even Real. A completely different negotiation in 4 months, he said. It looks like the Reds may follow Fernandez at the end of the season should their hopes of removing Jude Bellingham fail. What's particularly interesting is that Jacobs called it an entirely different negotiation in 4 months. This indicates that Benfica may reduce its demands for its valuable assets. After all, the January window has always inflated its price tags due to it being mid-season. Although he missed a flight to the Premier League this winter, Fernandez could be transferred to England at the end of the season. Inter Milan wants to sign Roberto Firmino. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, Inter Milan want to sign Liverpool forward Roberto Firmino to replace Chelsea forward Romelu Lukaku in the summer of 2023. Firmino's contract with Liverpool expires at the end of the season. Former Serie A and UEFA Champions League winners Inter are looking to transfer the services of the Brazilian international forward for free in the summer of 2023. According to the news in the Italian publication, Inter wanted the striker for £180,000 a week as a potential replacement for Lukaku. The Belgian forward is currently on loan from Chelsea at Inter. Lukaku is scheduled to return to his parent club after his term at Inter ends at the end of the season. The striker has suffered from injury problems this season and is not having the best times at San Siro. If Inter Milan want to sign Roberto Firmino for free in the summer of 2023, Liverpool must now take the lead on a pre-contract. Liverpool reportedly offered the 31-year-old striker a new contract. So if Inter doesn't make their offer now, they could miss out on the Brazilian, who might decide to extend their stay at Anfield. Also came the injury update about Bobby. Roberto Firmino's injury at Liverpool is a big concern, according to injury specialist Ben Dinnery. Firmino has not played for the Reds since the season restarted after the World Cup. He missed 8 games in total and was absent from practice earlier this week. The Brazilian would only miss a few games before he had another problem, according to coach Jürgen Klopp. The Reds were deprived of offensive options with the sidelines of Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz, while Darwin Nunez was unavailable in 2 games due to hamstring problems. Dinnery, who has a background in injury analysis, admits this is a concern for the Reds. Dinnery said, "It's a huge concern for Liverpool and Klopp. The initial injury that Firmino suffered was thought to be quite harmless and minor, but what was initially considered a 10-day recovery is now being stretched out to the point where we don't even have a time frame of a potential reversal. So there is a great deal of concern about the player himself and how his understanding of injury has changed. It's also unclear how careful Liverpool will have to be when they come back," he said. Firmino's lack of a fit start to the season is definitely felt. The share of this deficiency in Liverpool's recent defeats is quite large. Jürgen Klopp could help the quality of a Liverpool player improve with an old tactic. Jürgen Klopp can help get the most out of Cody Gakpo by returning to an old Liverpool tactic. Jürgen Klopp has tried many things this season, but injuries continue to interrupt plans. It currently lacks Virgil van Dijk, Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota and Roberto Firmino. All 4 would currently be competing for starting roles. The 3 of them would unquestionably win these battles. However, this is not the first time Klopp has encountered this problem. Klopp also went through a lineup change early in the campaign. He tried the 4-4-2 or 4-2-4 system. It went into effect first against Rangers and Liverpool performed well with the new system. And now Liverpool is not threatening enough going forward. It's also a system that can make the most of Cody Gakpo. Since moving to Liverpool, Gakpo has been trying to find a way to shine in a mixed team. Something even Mohamed Salah is struggling to do right now. Worse still, Gakpo has spent his last few games playing as a centre forward. The Dutchman prefers to play behind a striker if he is in the centre, otherwise the left wing is his best place. Still, a return to 4 for the 2nd of May allow Gakpo to take on this central role. Darwin could drag behind Nunez and potentially form a deadly matchup with the £64 million striker. Alternatively, he can play on the left in 4-2-4 or 4-4-2. Gakpo shined in the 4-2-3-1 system with PSV Eindhoven. He played in the front duo at the World Cup. Giving him an extra player around him, even temporarily, could be the best way to help him adapt to Liverpool.